Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing this afternoon? Or this evening, rather. This is Atik, and I am discussing family trauma and the long-term effects of family trauma. The purpose of this video is to discuss how trauma affects the family long-term. One of the reasons I'm making this video is due to us having a family member pass, and the fact that I feel like it's kind of odd to have everyone come together on the sole purpose of a family member passing. Not saying that we shouldn't gather, and this passing of our family member is not significant, but I feel like it shouldn't just take something that's actually, want to say, trauma to the family for us to come together like death. Normally for me, I don't go to funerals, but because of how I'm feeling about my cousin and mourning my cousin, I'm going to go and pay respects to her. As I stated before, I'm real uncomfortable about doing this because going to funerals make me very unnerved. I can't explain why it does, but it do. And I'm just going to give a backdraft on one of the reasons why and how this trauma has affected me long term. Because of the deceit, misleading, untruth, lies, backdoor stabbing, manipulating, just a whole bunch of thievery and all other kind of mayhem going on in my family. People choosing sides when other individuals are wrong. I don't go or no longer deal with my family due to that. So I've missed out on a lot of funerals due to that issue right there. I pretty much have separated myself from my family. They honestly don't exist to me anymore. Because due to the hands of a lot of them, I suffered a lot of trauma throughout my life. And unfortunately, it took me a long time to identify a lot of things and identify that I was a person the majority of them don't like. You know, they'll show somewhat of wanting me around, but then do backhand comments, like saying little slick comments and stuff like that. And I never want to acknowledge it until I had my kids, and my kids was old enough to come around and be around these individuals and say, well, Mom, did you realize such and such was, saying this to you, or they're acting a certain way with you? You don't, you're not identifying those issues. So once I sat back and started identifying and then, realizing certain family members truly didn't care for me, and then when someone in the family did something to me so egregious, I backed away from everybody because my family literally sided with this individual. But that's besides the point. That was just a backdraft on me explaining, why I don't function with them at all. But another thing that I want to discuss, the main topic of this video is to discuss how family trauma. Hold on, guys. Yeah.
A Domino's or carry out online or by phone and get.
I know this video is a little unorthodox, but I'm an unorthodox person. I don't believe in following scripts on how I do things. But I turn that music down for just a moment so you guys can clearly hear me and my message can come across properly. So now that we are currently dealing with a passing of a cousin, and it's just not a cousin, she's a cousin that's within my age group. As I stated in previous videos, my cousins and I, who were close knit and close tight at one point, all of us are almost 50 or stroking 50. That means close to 50. So, so much is going on. So much dissension has gone on in the family. It's just crazy. So much things have been done throughout the years to myself and other family members. I think it's like pulling teeth for us who decide to detach ourselves from them. It's like pulling teeth to get us back to dealing with the family as a whole and the individual. And also to the elders that now are senior citizens, they are extremely toxic. I'm talking about the toxicity with them is it is tremendously bad. They have spread more lies and more untruth than anyone in the family. It's the elders that's over us now. They are senior citizens almost at this point, if they're not actually are, but they're senior citizens now. And I've never seen a group of people that would literally go around and tell habitual lies on other people just to prove their point, or try to shed light and understanding on their side of a story. When I just feel like, granted, I'm not the most perfect person in the world. I'm not. But I'm not going to sit around and go around and spread malicious lies on someone just to gain sympathy from a group of people or any other person. I'm not like that. If I say something occurred, it's what it is. I'm not going to add no folk stories to it. I'm not going to drum up no fictitious lies just to spice up what I'm saying. I'm not going to defame anyone's character. I'm not like that. No matter what anyone says about me, I'm not like that. So, due to all of the mayhem the elders have caused throughout the years, it's falling down on the first set of grandchildren. The actual one, two, we're the third generation from my grandmother. So, due to a lot of that stuff and people having favoritism and people doing wrong against other people, and because you like one cousin more than the other, it doesn't matter if they've done anything harmful to you, they're going to go along with the cousin that they like. And I felt like my cousin throughout the years, the one that passed, she sort of felt like that too. And I'm not going to speak on her too much because she's not here to defend herself, and I wouldn't say anything that's detrimental to her. It's just unfortunate that she passed away so quickly. And so it just came on abruptly. So I feel like because of so much dysfunction going on in our family, we were not communicating with her enough to understand and know what she was going through. She didn't feel safe communicating certain things to us as a family. And I understand, I'm like that too. And it's simply because of the trauma I personally have experienced in the past. And now, yet again, as I said before, another family member has passed, and we're expected to gather together as a united family. And we're not even that. And granted, when someone is in need or someone is ill, we should be able to set business aside or differences aside to be there for that individual. But you got to understand how deep rooted this trauma is and how it has affected all of us as a whole. We no longer have relationships with each other. We walk by in public like we don't see each other. And that's honestly, that's how I choose to function, because I'm sick of the BS. I'm at a point in my life where I don't want to deal with any extra additives that I don't need to deal with. And I think any person has the right to reserve their peace of mind and serenity. No one on this earth has the right to interfere or jeopardize your peace of mind. I feel like when an individual displays those characteristics and those behavior, you have the right, like Maxine, our congresswoman, call for your time back, sweetie. Don't let anyone make you feel or belittle you or convince you you're crazy for doing that. No, if that's what you need to do to regroup and bring yourself back in and find your peace again, and that's what you do. And for the last maybe 10 years or more, I've chosen to do that for me and my kids. Live my life in private, finish raising my children in private, and not engage with these individuals. But what I really want to say is, it's just sad. I feel like it's just so sad that it takes death for us to get back together. That shouldn't be the moment we just say, okay, we're just going to get together for this moment, say farewell to this cousin and all us go our separate ways. That's because I was not raised like that. Even with so much dysfunction going in the family, I feel like that is very unnerving and sad. I just feel like that's just awful that you as a family can't dwell within each other's spaces. So with that being said, I feel like if the family itself or the individuals in the family want to get back together, and try to mend some of this brokenness amongst us, then we need to. It's so detrimental. We may have to go to group counseling because it's just that bad. And yet again, I want to say and reiterate, it comes from our elders, the siblings, the sisters and brothers that we come from as nieces and nephews, the sisters and brothers' children. It's been so much going on with them. It has passed down to us. And now we caught up in the conflicts of people, adult people, and now it's went from them to us to now to our children. Due to so much issues within the family, the children, the little cousins are, I guess they would be considered the second cousins, because I don't do that second, third cousins, but the fourth generation behind us, which are my children and my cousins' children, are not, even my sisters and brothers' children and my children are not able to engage with each other due to the fact that stuff are going on between the adults. And that's not fair. They didn't ask to come here. They didn't ask to be a part of this foolishness. And I feel that way for them. And I also feel that way for us, the adults, the elders in the family. I believe it's going to take us, the second generation, to kind of tighten this up a little bit, not even a little bit, all the way. Will all this foolishness away from, will us back in, and will all this foolishness away from us, because it's so unfair to these kids. We have a whole generation of children who do not know each other. For example, my children, my oldest is 30, my youngest is twins, they're 21. They have cousins they don't even know. We may happen to bump into some in the store, and I'll talk to them and they'll be like, Mom, who is that? And I'm like, that's our cousin. And my kids are like, God, we're kin to everybody. We are. Because between my grandmother and her brother, there may be 2,000 or more of us as a whole family. It may be 1,000 on my grandmother's side, and it might be 15,000 on her brother's side, but we have a huge family. And I just remember as a kid, it wasn't like that, because we were not a part of what went on with adults. And I do believe, children should stay out of adults' business. But at this point, we are not children anymore. We are adults. So if we're being addressed a certain way and the disrespect is coming from our elders because you feel indignant enough to come and approach us and say certain things to us that is demeaning to us and disrespectful, we have the right to respond. Me personally, I don't hold no bearings about it. You disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you back. Don't play with me. I'm not saying that's right, but because I've experienced certain things, that's how I roll. You disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you back. And you might want to be ready and lace your boots when you call yourself disrespecting me. And I'm not trying to act like I'm the baddest punta on the block. That's not what it is. You're just not going to disrespect me. Bottom line, if you want me to respect you, I'm going to respect you. If you want me to be warm-hearted and open to you, I'm going to be that way. That's just the gist of what it is. But I feel like in order for my family to reckon with things that are going on with us, all of us, including myself, are going to have to put egos aside and try to fix what's going on, because these kids are suffering. I'm talking about on a massive level. When my grandmother passed, she had a close to about 34 grams. I'm maybe 29 or 28, somewhere up in there. And when she passed, she had a close to 30 great grands and maybe 15 or so great grands. That was 30 years ago. That was over 30 years ago, because my son is getting ready to be 30 this year. So that was well over 30 years ago. So much has happened then. And my grandmama was not a perfect person herself, but I believe she did the best of her abilities. She made mistakes. Of course we are. We're not perfect parents. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. You work with the tools you have. And I think as a parent, you have to grow, not just as an adult, but definitely in your parenthood. Grow into knowing how to specialize in different issues with each one of your children, because all kids are not the same. I know that from having 6. So I'm not going to say she made the best decisions, but in her last years with me, She was the best thing I ever had. Truth be told, she's partially the reason why I'm still standing, because I dealt with a lot of infliction from my family that I'm going to discuss in later on videos. That my daughter Asia, hey Lady T, I'm sorry, Lady A, and Mrs. Stevenson, hello, how you doing? So I just hate that, getting back to the topic at hand, I just hate that so much trauma and lasting trauma and unresolved issues have influenced us to the point we can't deal with each other as a family should be. I'm tired of watching people on these social medias, and I'm pretty sure they have issues within their family, but I guess they have so much love for each other, they're able to move beyond issues. Blood is supposed to be thicker than water. Sorry, my laptop is getting ready to go dead. But blood is supposed to be thicker than water. That's what I was told as a child. Why my video is doing that? Okay, blood is supposed to be thicker than water. That's 40 some odd years that I've been here. That has not been my experience. Family will screw you over quicker than someone on the street. I'm talking about just is with a blink of an eye. With a blink of an eye, they will screw you over quicker than an individual in the street would. I've experienced that so much. That is one of the reasons why I decided to cut everyone off, because I can't deal with that. I'm a loyal person when it comes down to friends and my family members. But when it's shown to me that you don't care for me on the level that I care for you, I'm going to leave you alone. So it's plenty other things that I can go into on this video, on this the topic of this video, but I'm gonna try to stay at the subject at hand, which is all of those things I did as a family. My cousin passing olive branch out to the individuals in my family. So if it doesn't have to be everyone, for those individuals who care not to partake in this, you don't have to. You can basically not interact with us on this. For those who want to, I'm just saying at some point I'll be willing to do so, because this is how I'm squinching my eyes up because I don't have my glasses on and I can't see. For the individuals who are willing to sit down like adults and discuss the issues we have truthfully, transparently, take accountability in their actions, then we can do that. I'm not sure how well it's going to go, because some individuals in my family is very narcissistic. They do not know how to accept accountability when they inflict it wrong on someone. They will walk around as if they the most perfect thing in the world and act as if their actions have not had lasting effects on the family. And no one really wants to address the matter. It's just so much. Like I said, I can go. Um, we have issues where some family members think they're better than the other. We have family members who sit and say, well, it happened so many years ago, it doesn't need to be addressed. Yes, it does. It does. Discussing matters help heal the heart, mind, body, and soul. It really does. You can't let stuff sit and fester to the point where it's out of control, and then decades have passed and you haven't interacted with people, and now we're dealing with a situation that we have at hand. A family member has died, and now we all have to come collectively together to mourn the loss of our family member for a short period of time, and then we're gonna go back to acting like nothing really occurred. So hopefully, this to be a beginning of a journey where some change can happen. A shift in the atmosphere. I'm gonna speak it out there because I'm big in I'm big on affirmations. I'm like real big. If you see my room, if you can see a whole view of my room, you'll know I'm big. Maybe this is the beginning. Her death is going to be the birth of a new for our family. I'm hating that she's gone and she's not going to be here. I know she would have loved to be around to see that, but I just want her, and I'm not going to say her name on the video because I just feel like it's not appropriate. But love you, cousin, man, and I'm so sorry that you went through what you went through by yourself for the majority of the time. But two of my cousins were with her and almost up to her last days, and I appreciate them doing that. It's just a sad situation. Um, this situation has kicked me in the gut more than any passing that's happened over the last couple of years, and I think it has the more to do with because she's one of the first cousins to pass in our age group. We not spring chickens anymore, but we're not old either. So it's just different this time, and I want to say so much, and I'm not going to say it, but it's just bringing on a urgency to affect change, try to do better by myself and other people. I think it has a lot to do with the walk that I'm on spiritually. I don't want to entertain foolishness while I'm trying to repair certain situations. I'm telling you, I don't, because it's not going to be nice. I'm going to try because I have to be open to do so. But I swear we're going to speak prosperity in this one. We're going to speak peace over this recovery because, boy, I'm not nice when I'm pissed off. I'm just not a nice person. And I don't want to bring that energy into the matter. I'm just speaking facts. So this is one of the things that my daughter and I are going to be discussing, the long-term effects of family trauma. That stuff can affect you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Trauma plays 70% of the depression people deal with, the anxiety people deal with, the bipolarism people deal with, all those names, medical terminologies people have for behavior disorders. I believe family trauma